This week.
A few games dropped unexpectedly on the PlayStation Store last week, and overall, it was pretty good news. Until You Fall, which was a PSVR1 classic, made its way over to PSVR2 on Thursday, but sadly, it's only a step above the PSVR1 version graphically, and Shell Games isn't offering any kind of upgrade path if you already own the original. Aside from that, retro gamers will probably love MASTERNOID, a 3D take on the classic game Arkanoid, but here you're using a gun to whip the ball in all directions and try to break all the blocks. It runs at 4K 120, so it does look fairly nice in the headset, but for the amount of content you're getting here, it does feel a little bit overpriced. Awesome Asteroids was a great budget space shooter at the launch of PSVR2, where you blast through waves of asteroids using lasers, rockets, and Gatling guns while trying to keep bases and other structures from taking damage. And this week, it's making its way to PSVR1. C-Smash VRS launched on PSVR2 last week, and if you're like us and recognize the lack of content, well, you're not alone. The developers are aware of it too. So this tweet announcing that co-op and Infinity Mode are both coming soon is incredibly reassuring. Back on May 31st, developer Supermassive Games stated they've been working on a huge patch for their roller coaster shooter, SWITCHBACK VR. It should improve load times, fix low-resolution textures, and enhance lighting and visuals in general. Their aim was to release the patch at the end of June, but didn't commit to a specific date, so hopefully everything went as planned, and we'll see the patch sometime this week.
Mayday pilot, enemy fighters are closing in. We need you vertical ASAP.
The flight genre hasn't gotten much love on PSVR2 yet, so it's great that BitPlanet Games is committed to bringing their open-world flight game ULTRAWINGS 2 over to our headset. They recently tweeted that it's coming to PSVR2 soonish. Swing through the floating jungles of the Bermuda Triangle as you race against other players to collect bananas to trade for the hottest monkey merch. Fling doo-doo at other players to steal their bananas and send them plummeting to a hungry croc below. Be prepared to break a sweat in this fast-paced multiplayer adventure. Each minigame in Math World VR combines simple math that adds fun challenge. Whether it's axe throwing, throwing darts at balloons, or shooting a bow and arrow at the correct answer, you'll have countless hours of fun, all while helping to improve your math skills and exercise your brain. This might not seem all that much fun, but as I watched the trailer, I couldn't help but think about Brain Age on the Nintendo DS and how much I enjoyed that. So I guess we'll see. Take control of a highly polished, realistic kitchen equipped with all kinds of utensils and stands. Unlock and master over 80 recipes and use dozens of lifelike ingredients to cook everything you like. Cooking Simulator VR is coming to both PSVR1 and PSVR2 later this year, with the PSVR2 version already up and running at 90 FPS. I know I've been talking a lot about NOCK ever since PERP Games first revealed the VR version last week, but this week we got confirmation that it's officially coming to PS5 and PSVR2 this year, both digitally and physically.
Half a league. Half a league. Half a league onward.
This Speaking of physical games, we've got some great news for physical game collectors this week. PERP Games announced that roguelike shooter The Light Brigade now has a physical release window of sometime this summer. But that's not all. PERP also announced that Tennis On Court, Happy Funland, Madison VR, and NEUMATA will all get physical releases before the end of the year. And for all you patient cats out there, one of our most anticipated PSVR2 games, Wanderer: The Fragments of Fate, is also getting a physical release. Now, this one's admittedly a ways out, with the digital game slated to hit in early 2024, and the physical version targeting late 2024. In the near future, humanity is trying to achieve immortality by transferring consciousness to machines, navigate through environments, solve puzzles, engage enemies to find out the dark secret behind the experiments. Into the Darkness is coming to PSVR2 next year, and this week the developer showed off a new enemy type capable of dodging bullets and a new ice climbing mechanic, which they followed up with a promising reassurance that you shouldn't be concerned. The whole game won't be about climbing. Every week, our good friend Professor Lilith organizes a multiplayer meetup over on our Discord. It happens every Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern, and this week we'll be playing 3v3 multiplayer Rocket League inspired NOCK. If you can't make this week's meetup, don't worry, it happens every Sunday at the same time. So make sure you click the link in the description below. Come join our Discord.
This week